Hey everybody, welcome back. Glad to have you watching the videos. Today I am currently making a video that was requested. If you go through the videos, you'll see some message requests through the comments. A couple days back, somebody requested that I do a video with ankle braces, different types of ankle braces, as they're being used, as the person wearing them is weight bearing, and how they apply with weight bearing, and while the patient's wearing shoes with the ankle braces. This is going to be a two-part video. First part, we're going to talk about this ankle brace. The second part video, the part two video, will be the other brace. These are the two most common ankle braces that can be worn inside of shoes and for weight bearing. So I'll put this one away for now, and we're going to talk about this guy real quick. This is, by any other name, this is an ankle brace, but the more actual correct name for this would actually be a stirrup brace, for the obvious reasons. It looks, well, here, I'll undo it so you can see. You can see how it looks like stirrup. So this particular model, this particular brand, we're going to talk about this in just a moment. This particular brand has, on the inside pads, these are pads slash bladders. They are inflatable with this little spigot you see right here, and it has a little pump that comes with it. And again, it's pretty self-explanatory. You place this part in to pump air in, and you place this part in to pump air out. Pretty easy. There are different versions of this. There is another version of this that comes with a little straw instead of a pump, and you would insert the straw and you would puff it and inflate it and to your comfort level. And then of course you would just remove the straw and you would extend it out like you would, say, for example, a balloon. You would extend it out in the air and you push the air out to release the air. And then there's a third version of this where these are actually material like fabric, and inside, instead of air, you have like a jelly, which they're very, very comfortable and they're very nice, and they don't involve any kind of self-pumping or self-inflating. So those are the different versions of this. The idea behind the inflating is that you want to apply this obviously to an ankle injury, so the patient can continue to weight bear, and as the swelling starts to go down, you may have to inflate to accommodate to keep it at the same comfort tightness. This is also adjustable for the width of the foot. This pad that you see here goes on the bottom of the heel, right at the bottom of the heel, and if that person has a wider foot, you can actually undo the Velcro and extend this out a bit so that if that patient, for whatever reason, has a larger foot, it can accommodate the size of the foot. And we'll do that here in a minute when I'm putting on the patient, and so on and so forth. And then you would apply it just like so. So with that being said, I'm going to get this kind of straightened out a little bit. I'm going to tuck in the spigots, and we're going to go ahead and place it on the patient's foot in about 2 seconds here. All right, you guys, so what I have is I have the patient doing like a POV kind of view, so you can actually see me applying it to the actual patient foot as they're looking down on me. Again, we talked about extending that Velcro strap a little bit so it fits underneath, and then we're going to go ahead and apply it now. I'm going to have the patient flex their foot up, and if you're working with an injured patient, they're only going to be able to do so much. Remember in your head that this is obviously a simulation. So the patient, this is an actual patient, but in an actual case, you might have some swelling. They may not have full range of motion. You take the little circular pad in this particular case, you place it below the heel, center heel, and you bring the pads up the side. Now, when you're doing this, and I recommend to the patients to always wear a sock, just for sweating and itching and odor and such. In this particular case, he's wearing a short sock, which is fine, but with this type of material and hot weather outside, they may find that the longer sock will keep this from, when they get sweaty, from sticking to their skin. So if you've extended this the proper length to match the width of the foot, as you bring the pad under the heel and you bring the two sides of the stirrup up, as you are looking down on it, right where this bend is right here, and it has the same bend on the other side, that should be resting right over the medial mallet and the lateral mallet. So you should have a nice comfortable fit. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the first strap, you're going to bring it around just comfortably. It doesn't have to be super, super tight. You're going to bring it around and you're going to Velcro it. And you always, always, always do the lower strap first. And the reason for that is if you do the upper strap first, what ends up happening is you place the upper strap, and you can actually, if you look down right here, you can actually see it happen. Let's assume that I didn't do this one. Let's say that I did the top one first. As soon as you bring the strap around and you give it a little bit of tension, you can see down here how the bottom puffs out, kind of like an A-frame of a ladder. And as it puffs out, then they're wearing the brace for no reason. It's not giving support in the area where the support's supposed to be. So you do the lower strap first, and then you do the upper strap. And again, it has the tag on it because it's new. The brand, I don't need to mention the brand because we don't do that in the videos. And of course, we're not sponsored by Reebok or nothing like that silly. And then the other thing too, some of these stirrup braces, they go by different names, different slang terms. An ankle brace, a stirrup brace. Some of the older providers will call it an air cast. And that's because one of the very, very first companies to come out with this exact style brace was the air cast company. And they're still out there. They're still out there. This is a version of the air cast. So you'll get a provider that's been around for a long, long time. They're like, hey, Woody, go get me an air cast. And you'll be like, okay. But it's technically a stirrup brace. But some of the braces have removable straps. So remember, I'm going to show you something. There's the Velcro. Here we go. If it's a removable strap, always remember this, because they're out there, and I want to make sure I give you guys good intel. The first strap, if these straps aren't like this, in this particular brace, they're attached. But if they're loose straps and they're just dangling, you have, what you can do is, and I can't do it because he's recording, but you have the patient hold the top for you if they're able to. You take the first strap and you go right above this bend, right above it, right where this little dip is, right here, and that's actually where this one's attached anyway. So it's a good example of what I'm talking about. Right where that little dip is, that's where you put the first strap if it's not already attached. So just so you know, again, if you put the strap too high, it's going to pop out the bottom and it's not going to give the support you need to have. And then, because in the request, people wanted to see how it's going to work with the shoe, we're going to go ahead and go into that, and then that's going to be end of part 1 video. If you go back into some of the way, way older videos, like way back, like a year or two back, there's actually, I recall doing a video on ankle braces, but in that video we didn't demonstrate weight bearing. So this is kind of the continuation of that, and here we go. So when you go to apply it with a shoe or whatever, it won't really work very well with boots, but a tennis shoe, maybe Crocs, maybe, or if it's a soft edge shoe like those ones that are real popular now, the Hey Dudes, or shoes that are real squishy on the edges, it may not work so well. But anything that's got a little bit of structure to it, it'll work really nicely. And all you're going to do is you're going to slide the shoe on, bring this over like so, and what you're going to do is you're going to kind of bring it around and go ahead and push on me a little bit. And as you bring it in, what you're going to do is you're going to help the patient by putting your fingers just like so, and you're going to little by little wedge it in. And what I'm going to do in a minute, I'm going to pause it while we get this, because I'm going to need an extra set of fingers to wrap around here. So we're going to pause it, and then we're going to show the weight bearing part of it. So as you can see, with both of us working at it, we were able to spread this open, get the brace inside the shoe. We had to loosen the laces a fair amount. I'm going to go ahead and have him go ahead and tie his shoes now. And Once we get the shoes tied, we're going to come on down and do a little weight bearing with the stirrup splint on. All right, and whenever you're ready, come on down. And all you gotta do is just do a few steps around the room, kind of show people how it works. You just walk around. Pretty easy stuff. And that's kind of how the whole weight bearing goes with a stirrup style ankle brace. And then of course, once he puts the jeans down and stuff, you would never even know that it was on. Nobody would even see it. The only person that would know it was on is the patient. All right, so thank you very much for watching this. Stay tuned for part 2, where we will then discuss this guy. This is going to be the wraparound lace-up brace. That'll be part 2 coming up in just a sec.